We'd like to welcome you back to the Barber Biz Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Brown. And as usual, our episode is sponsored by soc. Consulting. You see the name, you see the brand, you see the hat. You know, we working on the merch continuously, making sure that we keep everything moving, keep everything pushing forward. And this week, we have a special guest again, Rel Gotti. I don't really know. He wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't. I wasn't. I really wasn't.
What's good? What's going on with you? You good?
Yeah, everything good. Everything good. Just working. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? So what's it been like getting that jump start in the industry now? It's been what? Maybe about a year or so since you like really have been 100% in the field?
Yeah, about a year and a half. About a year
Okay.
and a half. Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of times, you know, I always make sure that a lot of the people who I really kind of see as a lot of the up and coming people, a lot of up and coming barbers and stylists in the industry, those are the ones that I really kind of keep my eye on. So that eventually when you blow up and get big, I can just, you know, be in your shop, be in your establishment and just kick my feet up. You know what I mean? So, you know, so we appreciate you being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So you said it's been about a year and a half or so. So what's it been like transitioning from being a student in barber school to now being in the shop full time?
Um, what has it been like? It's been like a roller coaster ride. I hope that's not a cliche, but it's especially like first starting out, it was just, some days were better than others, but I just kept pushing and tried to stay as consistent as I could, because it's especially for me, I didn't grow up cutting hair. I didn't start cutting hair until I got to barber school. So when most people get into a shop, they already pretty much acclimated with the whole procedures and everything, just already knowing different types of hair. Because I didn't know the difference between a shadow fade and a bald fade when I first started cutting hair. So a lot of people sat down and asked, I thought a fade was just a fade. If you asked for a shadow fade, you got a bald fade. I didn't even know the difference when I first started cutting hair. But it's like I said, it's been a roller coaster, but I'm enjoying the ride. I'm still enjoying the ride. Like some days are better than others, but I try and find the silver lining and just be grateful and enjoy the process.
So what had you start, thinking about going to barber school? Like where did it come from? Since you said that you hadn't cut hair until you actually got to barber school, what gave you the idea to start a barbering career?
It was a number of different things, but for the most part, it was I used to think I was kind of cursed because I never had like a good job. Like friends of mine always got like we would all put in job applications at the same time, and my friends would always get called back for certain jobs. Just like good paying jobs with nice benefits. Me, I was never fortunate. Well, I felt like I wasn't fortunate enough at the time to even get like people would never call me back for jobs. So I end up always having to work, just terrible jobs. And one day I was just in the break room and I was just talking to somebody. And I was like, bro, this is not it. This is not it. And they was like, what you gonna do? I was like, man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go to barber school, man. So I actually played with the idea in my head for probably like a year before I actually worked up the courage to actually go because I had never cut hair before.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was pretty much just that. And then once I decided to take a stand on where my life was at the time, I was like, this is not going to be it. I can't see myself doing this for the rest of my life. And my actual plan was, I was like, I just cut hair until I actually figure out what I'm going to do with my life. Because I know, cutting hair to keep some money in my pocket. I can adjust my schedule accordingly to how I want to move around. But I started doing it and I started liking it, So I just kept doing it. It was fun. So I just kept doing it.
So in your journey, like as you're in school, at what point did it reach to where you kind of realize like, I actually legit like this. Like this is something I can really do and not just something to just hold on to for a little while. Like at what point did you reach that? Did something happen? Did it just click one day or what?
I think what it was the fact that while I was cutting somebody hair, because I like to feel like I'm pretty much like I can make friends with just about anybody. So if somebody sits in my chair, I like to feel like I don't just cut hair. Like I feel like when a client is in my chair, I'm cutting your hair, but we chilling, we kicking it. I just so happen to be cutting your hair while we kicking.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel like I start seeing like, okay, I can get paid to kick it, just talk. And I really talk with my clients about different things, their dreams, my dreams, their goals, my goals, their family, my family. Like I like to feel like we just kicking it. I just so happen to be cutting your hair while we kicking, So I was like, I just started thinking about it. And I was like, I can get paid to do what I do with my homies pretty much all the time, except for I don't cut their hair. But once you actually, you get more acclimated into actually learning how to cut hair, it's like some of the, pretty much you do almost the same haircuts day in, day out. It's like second nature at this point,
Yeah.
So it was just that for me. It never felt like work. Like even when I was in school, like I had fun, minus, sometimes the papers we had to turn in. But for the most part, school was even fun. And I never liked to go to school.
Hmm.
I never liked to go to school.
So what were some of the challenges that you faced while you were in school? Like, what were some of the challenges that really got to you?
Just being broke, because I believe so much that not even that I was gonna be a good barber, but just I really took a stand on what I was doing in my life was not gonna get it. So I think I had got like a school refund check. It might have been, I think it was like $1,100, and I saved it and I just quit my job. I just quit my job. And so at that point, I was penny pinching, because I still had bills. As long as I can make it to school and make it, make it back home, I was cool. But that's pretty much the only challenges I faced because most of it was fun. I was just broke, I was just broke. I didn't have any money. Couldn't, luckily I could get when I had hair, I could get my hair cut at school for free. I ain't have to pay for haircuts. I just let one of my classmates do it.
So around what time was it that this happened? Was this like towards the beginning of when you were there, in the middle, or towards the end?
No, I think this was like right halfway through. Like halfway through. Yeah, like halfway through. And I think that's been the determining factor in my progress as well. Like I just jumped in with no life vest. So but I knew that. I knew that though. I knew like as long as I had a job to fall back on, it's kind of like I was half stepping. If you put your back against the wall, you're gonna make sure you're gonna cross your T's and dot your I's because it's your survival at this point. So that's what it was for me.
So you get out of barber school, you get your license now, and the time period that you started really working in the shop. Were you nervous when you first started working in the shop? Were you like, what was that like? Tell us where you're at, and just so we can kind of get a sense of what that was like.
So I can remember my first day in a barbershop. You talking about, I think this is the most nervous I ever been in my life. I think it's the most, because I'm like, what made me go to a barbershop was I asked one of my teachers, because I wasn't really seeing any progress in myself at school as far as my cut. So I pulled it to the side one day and I was like, how many heads do I need to be cutting a day to see some type of progress? And she told me 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm like, well, it's not like people lined up at barber schools to get their haircut.
Yeah.
So I was like, them numbers you only gonna get in a shop. So that's what made me take that leap. So I just went. I think the next week I went to a shop. I did a demo. He told me I wasn't ready, but I had already quit my job. So it's like I just went to another shop. He told me, well, you don't have a license. You don't have a license yet. I told him I was working on it. He was like, well, you can work here Friday afternoon and Saturdays and Sundays. So I took it and ran with it. And my first day there, I messed up everybody's head.
How'd you know you messed it up though?
Because And that's one thing. That's another good point too. I remember you told me a long time ago. You was like a good haircut is subjective, you know. So I thought it was messed up because it looked nothing like anybody else in their haircut. You know, like it just didn't look good to me. But I made like $100 my first day there, and I was like, imagine if I get halfway decent at it, you know. So for me, that's just what it was like. And I'm not gonna lie to you, at the beginning, like the immediate beginning, like my first month, 2 or 3 in the shop, it wasn't that fun because I put a lot of pressure on myself at times, you know. So looking at my work and comparing it to other people's, and it wasn't adding up. I think that took a little toll on my ego, but I just kept pushing.
So what shop are you at now again?
Diamond Cut actually, and
Okay.
yeah, and I really want to get, you know, every barber there a shout out because I think without them, you know, they are a big piece of the progress that I've seen. You know, and I would tell any barber who's up and coming, just coming out of barber school, like don't just jump into the first barber shop that lets you get a chair. You know, you want to make sure it's somewhere where you can grow, somewhere where you can learn from, not just how to cut hair. Like I learned so much from the barbers at Diamond because the psychology of dealing with your clients, attracting the clients that you want, because it's the difference between having a clientele and having the clientele you want. You know, just different things, you know. So I would suggest that every barber do their due diligence when trying to find a chair, you know.
So what's the best way do you think that you would say to be able to find the best shop for somebody?
Go to hair shows, network, connect, be active on Instagram, you know, go out, shake hands, you know, meet people, but make sure it's genuine. I genuinely wasn't going to hair shows to find a mentor or a shop to work in. I was going because I just wanted to learn, you know, and hair shows to this day, I can't wait till COVID like is really over because they keep me motivated. And as you know, when you start something new, you got to make sure you find ways to keep yourself motivated because if not, you know, the cutting hair is a pretty mundane process. We do the same things day in and day out for the most part. So you have to find ways to keep yourself motivated and interested, or else you'll get burned out. You know, doing the same thing day in and day out. You know, it'll start to feel like a job. And I never wanted to feel like that.
So what separates you and your work and what you do from like just the next barber? You know, because even though you're still new in the industry, like what separates you from the next guy or the next guy?
And I said this earlier. It's because it's not always about the haircut. I think for me is the customer service or the rapport that I build with my clients. Like I don't just look at them as a number. Like I'm genuinely interested in what my clients do for a living. You know, the things that they're interested into. You know, some of my clients done become pretty good friends of mine. I done went out with my clients before. I think that's what it is, just the rapport that I build with them. Like I don't just cut their hair and take their money. You know, it's more so like a, how can I put it? I don't want to say experience because we hear that all the time, but that's kind of like what it is. I don't just take their money and cut their hair. You know, I actually talk. If I'm listening to music when they get there, I take my headphones out and we talk. You know, and I can, and that's the thing for me because I remember when I used to get my hair cut and barbers just be cutting my hair, they be talking to everybody else, and you know, just don't be paying attention to the person in your chair like that. And sometimes people sit down, man, they be going through things. I like to feel like barbers are neighborhood therapists, you know?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's something that you're working on now to kind of take you to the next level? Like what's something where you're like, you know, like if, you know, where you're really kind of focus or pinpoint on trying to work on something specific to kind of help to kind of take you like to another level skill wise?
So, well, it's two things for me. I'm trying to, I'm working more with learning how to do like style, not just cut straight hair, but style it as well.
Mm.
As far as just straight up cutting hair, but also the way I'm presenting myself on social media. Like people ask me all the time, like why I don't post that much. And because what I'm working on is like I said, we do the same things day in and day out, the same haircuts. Like I don't want to spam people's timeline with temp fades and drop fades and wave cuts every day of the week. So I'm working on more creative ways to post these things and just establishing a more creative presence on Instagram. Like I said, I don't want to just post haircuts all day. Like that's after if you've seen one, you pretty much seen them all.
Yeah, yeah. So how do you gain new clients? What is it you do in terms of being able to market yourself for clients?
So a few barbers actually told me this. You receive what you put out there. You're gonna attract what you put into the universe. So by that, I took from it, I post haircuts that I take pictures of a lot of haircuts, but all of them don't make them Instagram. I make sure the haircuts are pretty clean cut, not just aesthetically, but make sure the person not well.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, like the person is a pretty good model. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
their hair texture, their skin type, and I'm not biased towards anyone, but it's just like we're the professionals. The clients aren't the professionals, so you have to, as a professional, judge what you deem is worthy to place out there for everybody to see, because you're gonna attract what you put out there. I don't just throw out there every haircut I do. Because even if it's a nice haircut, it's just like I have a client who has psoriasis, so I give him a nice haircut all the time, but I would never post it, only because the majority of the people that follow me are potential clients. They're not professionals. They're gonna be more focused on their skin than the haircut.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know. And then too, another thing too, that's why building a rapport is good with your client. And people, I actually get more clients as of right now from referrals than social media. That's just off doing good business. I'm punctual. My communication is very strong with my clients. Like my I don't smoke anything, but if I did, my fingers wouldn't smell like whatever I smoke.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
big thing. People take notice of stuff like that. Like I wear cologne. I know my hands are always pretty close to people's face. Make sure it's a nice smell when my hand goes across your face.
Yeah, yeah.
It don't smell like Cheetos. It don't smell like the hot wings I ate when I was on lunch. People take notice. It's little things that people take notice to. And
Yeah.
and for any new barber watching, you will learn that. Like, don't just pay attention to the barber. If you're new, don't just pay attention to the way other barbers cut hair. Pay attention to how they interact with their clients. You don't just have to learn what to do from people. You can learn what not to do as well.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier on that the barbers, you kind of shouted out some of the barbers that you work with. What is it that has made them important in terms of your growth when it comes to, what they've helped you with? Because sometimes, and I ask that because, sometimes you can be in a shop where, especially as like the newer, younger, rookie barber, where they're like, I mean, I had the experience of a guy talking to another barber like, man, this guy ain't gonna cut it, like, and he talked about me reckless to the other barber that was there. I found out about it. I kind of got my feelings, but it also gave me motivation. So what is it about, where you have been at that's helped you to be positive and to be able to grow?
So I think for me and my story personally, I think all the barbers saw that I was legit, like not playing. Like first one in, last one out. I didn't have a car at the time, you know. So I stayed up there all day, like, and once I built a decent rapport with the barbers, like I was standing next to them while they was cutting hair. And it got to the point where I ain't even have to ask for the gems anymore. Like they was just dropping them on me because they knew like I was trying to do it for real. But they saw that I was like really working towards what it is that I said I wanted. So sometimes they'll just walk by and they'll just pull my coattail and, you know, tell me, you know, it'll be a little easier if you do it like this. You know, or you do it like that. Like, and they never hesitated to give me any game. And they never did it like I was a little bro or something. Like they never tried to little boy me. They, you know, they did it in a respectable manner to where my clients probably didn't even pick up on it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I salute them for that. And I give Yusuf credit for like even establishing that, you know, to where it's like, I mean, like every barber in there did not like, they all was like, just here, take the game, here, get it, you know. They was willing, you know, and I only worked at one shop prior to that, and that was for like 2 weeks, but it was nothing like that. And I hear different stories about things my classmates had to deal with in shops they was at, and I just couldn't relate. You know, even when it wasn't working for me, like as far as the money, like I never thought about leaving because for me it wasn't just about the money. Like I remember coming to school telling the classmates like, oh, I only made like such and such the other day, man. He was like, man, why it's too many barbers at your shop? Why you don't go somewhere else? But I was looking at the bigger picture, you know. Like if I can, you know, get with the people, with the barbers at my shop, I know I can go anywhere and be okay. And I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
Like the barbers at the shop I work at, like they, you know, I still find myself like looking at they like I work in the front, so I see it coming all the way from the back. I just be looking at the haircut as it going down. I'm like, man, I still got work to do. I still got work to do, but it's all good though. Like it's never like in a competitive way, you know. And to this day, man, I can still, even barbers that don't work there anymore, I can still call them and pick their brain about things, you know. And that's why, like, you know, doing good business, being honorable, you know, having integrity, all these things come into play when you in this business. You know, it's still we one of the last businesses that's directly in contact with the consumer. It's not a middleman between me and my clients. You know, take advantage of it. It's not a middleman between me and a famous barber. I could see him at a hair show and pull his coattail, and a lot of them willing to give you some of the game right then and there. But you know, you just gotta do your due diligence, man.
So when you were in school, you had a chance to travel to Germany. What was that
like?
So what was that like? Tell us about that experience.
That changed my whole perspective on life itself. I'm gonna be real with you. I gained more of a life experience versus a career experience with that, but I used it and applied it towards my my career, because actually, like I said, I was broke. I was broke. I was finna leave. I was finna leave cutting hair. I already don't have any clientele like that. I was finna leave cutting hair for a month. You know, I'm cutting maybe 1-2 hairs a day, you know. But I saved my money up just for that. But like a week or two before I actually left, I was contemplating not even going. But I was like, you know what, you know, I've been broke all my life. Another month ain't gonna hurt. So I went over there, and the first week over there, I almost starved because I didn't want to eat nothing over there. It just didn't look like what I was used to.
Yeah. So
I tried it, and then I actually started liking it, liking different things, and I was like, it's crazy how much stuff we play ourselves out of because we're not even open-minded enough to at least try it. So I took that and used it just in life in general. And then over there, they do business a little different than how we do business over here. It's not just about the money over there. You know, when we're here, if a barber take a break, he go do his own thing. He might go sit in his car. He might go down the street, get his lunch, come back, do whatever. Go home, take a nap. whatever he want to do. There, they sit down. And all the people at the salon I worked at, they sat down together and they just talked about visions, they goals and things of other, just talked about different things. So, and I learned a few tricks dealing with. I actually learned how to thread eyebrows while I was over there too. I still ain't got to use it yet, but it's cool. It's cool to have in the repertoire.
That's what's
I ain't got to use it, but that experience changed my life. Then I came back, and I came back with a different type of confidence. I don't even know where it came from because I ain't do a whole lot of stuff while I was over there. But I just came back with like this lust for life. I don't even like eating at the same restaurant twice anymore. Yeah, like, but that's
excuse me.
That's for real. But that's the beauty of this industry too. Like, you meet so many. That's why I'm telling you. I keep saying it. Like, please build a rapport with your client. So many restaurants in Atlanta I don't even know about, and I learned about them through my clients. Like, you never know who is sitting in your chair.
Yeah.
That you could be sitting. You could be given a haircut to a loan executive at the bank that you put your money in, and you have no idea. So when it's time for you to get a loan for your house, and you a barber, you don't even know. A lot of barbers don't even understand taxes. When it's time for you to get you a house, you don't even know. You've been cutting his hair for 6 months, and he passed the loans out at the bank. You put your money in, but you just look at him like 30 or however much you charge for a haircut. You just look at them like a number. Now build a rapport with these people.
Yeah. Well, I only got one more question left for you. This is probably the most important question of the day. So how long did it take for you to actually grow a real beard? Because, when you were at school, like, you were trying, like, what I'm saying? Like, you were trying to get it to connect, but you couldn't quite get it to, so how long has it been? 2 years, that you've been able to actually grow the beard?
No, it was growing, but it wasn't like as full as it is now. I think what it is I just don't really have a lot of stress, anymore. Life is pretty good right now,
Well,
life is pretty good.
So what about the know what I'm saying? What about the the back the back the back shag mullet, the shag joint? Like, so what happened with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was good?
So that was me. I think I got a little too creative that day. I got a little too creative that day. So I think, as a barber, we creatives in our own right, and sometimes, it get the best of us sometimes. They get the best of us sometimes, but I held it down. I held it down for about a year, but it's over with for
that. But it didn't work out.
Nah, it's over for that.
All right, man. Well, I'm proud of you. Looking forward to seeing all the continued success for your career in the future. I'm just really, really proud to see your progression. I'm make sure that I keep checking up on you, make sure you're keeping everything positive, keeping positive vibes, so keep doing everything that you're doing. I'm looking forward to down the road doing another interview when I'm on your yacht, or what I'm saying, like where I'm in your shop, or I'm in your shop and I can kick my feet up, so like, but keep doing what you're doing for sure.
And also to you, thank you. A lot of the things that you told me and you taught me, like they actually end up making a lot more sense than I thought they would have made later on down the line. And it's not a coincidence that a lot of the students that you dealt with are doing the things that they're doing today. It's not a coincidence, So I think you should take a certain level of pride in that,
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm always happy to be able to see. I got a surprise for you, actually. I don't know if I should say it right now or not, but I'll just give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. There's a decent chance that you might get added to the wall in some way, shape, or form, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
I get to make the wall.
Yeah, so for those, the next interview that we have or down the road, I'm gonna explain what that wall means. Years ago, my guy, Game the Groomer, shouts out A1 Cuts, shouts out Rusty Fred. He Game used to say, all the students that you had, that's, when you first started teaching, we all, what I'm saying, like we all doing big things. We all, got shops where yada, yada, everybody graduated, everybody got their license. I'm going to start calling you Mr. 30 for 30. Right. I was like 30 for 30. He's like, cause like, all, like we were like the first 30 and we all like doing big things. So I created this wall at in my office now, and everybody doesn't make the wall. But there's a pretty good chance. I was digging in my archives the other day and I found something. I was like, this one might be able to make it. So, so if it works out, I'm gonna let you know. You might have earned it, but I'll let you know.
It's not the picture I think it is it?
I mean, is the one from Germany when you were with the beer with the old girl? No, not. No, I'm joking. No, this one you might. You probably don't remember this one. This one's out of the cut, but yeah, I don't want to tell you which one it is, but you'll see.
That's dope. I get to make the wall.
All right, man. Well, be safe. Be safe. Keep doing what you're doing. Looking forward to the next time that we get to chop it up.
You as well. I can't wait myself, and thank you for even thinking about me as far as this was concerned.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Cool.
All right, cool. Catch you next time.